Today's lesson is prime or not prime. Prime or not prime numbers. Okay, first, what's a prime number? Okay, here's a definition of a prime number. What is a prime number? A prime number is a number that can only be divided by the number 1 and the number itself. So let's look at some numbers that are prime numbers. The number 11 is a prime number. You can only divide 11 by 1 and 11. 11 divided by 1 is 11. 11 divided by 11 is 1. You can't divide 11 evenly by 2. You can't divide it evenly by 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. Because it's a prime number, you can only divide it evenly by 1 and the number itself, which is 11. Let's try another prime number. There are lots of prime numbers, by the way. I'm not going to show them all to you today, but I'm going to show you how and why it is a prime number. 23 is a prime number. Why? Because you can only divide 23 by 1 and 23, which is the number itself. You can't divide 23 evenly by 2, or by 3, or by 4, or by 5, or by 6, Because it's a prime number, you can only divide it evenly by 1 and 23. It's the only way it works. Next, let's look at some non-prime numbers, not prime numbers. These will not be prime numbers. They're unprime numbers, non-prime numbers. You get the idea. There are a lot of numbers that are not prime numbers, not prime. 12 is not a prime number. Why? Because I can divide 12 evenly by other numbers besides the number itself, which would be 12, and the number 1. Let's see what I mean. Okay, remember, we already know 12 is not prime because I can divide 12 by 2 and get even 6. I can divide 12 by 3 and come out with an even amount of 4. I can divide 12 by 4 and come out with an even amount of 3, 12 by 6, and come out with an even amount of 2. Yeah, I can divide 12 by 12, and I can divide 12 by 1, but the fact I can do it by other numbers is why it's not prime. So 12 is not prime because I can divide it by lots of different numbers, or at least more than itself in the number 1. So it's not prime. Let's check out another not a prime number. Okay, back to some more not prime numbers. 18 is not prime because I can divide it, again, I can divide it by more than just the number 1 and 18. I can divide 18 by 3, I get 6. I can divide 18 by 9, I get 2. I can divide 18 by 2 and get 9. I can divide 18 divided by 6 and get 3. So it's not a prime number because I can divide it by more numbers than 1, or its number itself, which would be 18. I can divide it by that many numbers, okay? Okie smokes. Prime numbers. Notice the numbers that were prime, that were only divided by 1 in itself, were odd numbers. So prime numbers are going to be odd, but not all odd numbers are prime numbers, okay? Prime numbers are going to be odd, but not all odd numbers are prime. Let's look at the number 9. It's odd, but it's not prime. Let me show you. There's 9. It's odd. I could divide 9 by 1, and I can divide 9 by 9, but I can also divide 9 by 3 and get an even number, which is 3. Therefore, it is not a prime number. But all your prime numbers are going to be odd, but not all odd numbers are prime. Okay? Hope that makes sense. So just below the 9, here's some other odd numbers that are not prime. Because I can divide 15 by 5 and 3. I can divide 21 by 3 and 7. I can divide 27 by 3 and 9. I can divide 35 by 5 and 7, not just 1 and 35. So don't just think because it's odd, it is prime, but it might be, if it's prime, it's odd, but if it's odd, it might not be prime. Okay, this is your assignment. You're going to see some numbers, and I want you to tell me if they're prime or not prime. There's 19, there's 24. 19. What can I divide 19 by? Another way of thinking of this is what times what is 19? 4 times what is 19? 5 times what is 19? 7 times what is 19? Well, none of that works because it is a prime number. So the only number that you can multiply to get 19 is 19 by 1, or 1 times 19, or the only way I can divide 19 is divide 19 by 1 and get 19, or I can divide 19 by 19 and get 1. So 19 is a prime number. If the number is prime, just write a big prime by the number. It's prime. 19's prime. Show me you know it's prime by writing prime. Next number, 24. Notice in red I wrote even. If the number is even, it's probably not a prime number. The only number that's even that's considered a prime number is 2. 2 is a prime number because you can only divide it by 1 and 2. Okay, back to the assignment. So if this is your number, is 24 prime? I don't think so. So write NP, not prime, because it's not, but then show me how you know it's not prime. You can do that by showing me how you divide it or multiply it by not using 1 and 24. So you could show me 24 divided by 3 is 8. That would be proof that it's non-prime because I can divide it by 3, which also means I can divide it by 8. Or you could show me your proof like this. 3 times 8 is 24, kind of like a fact family. So again, that's your proof that it's not prime. NP. Let's do 2 more. 31, 21. Both are odd numbers. Are they both prime? I don't know. What can I divide 31 into evenly? Or another way of thinking of it is what times what gives me 31? Not much. Only 1 times 31, or 31 times 1 gives me 31. That's the only way to get 31. Or, what number can I divide 31 into evenly? Nope, 5, nope, 6, nope. The only numbers are 1 and 31. So that means it's prime. So all you got to do is write prime. But don't guess, do your math. Prove to yourself it doesn't work. 21. Okay, it's an odd number, but can I divide 21 by something and get an equal amount? Or is some number times some number 21? But it can't be 1 or 21. Hey, isn't 3 times 7 21? Yes, it is. So then 21 divided by 3 would be 7, and that's my proof. It's not prime. So write your NP, and my proof is one of these sentences. Okay? That's my proof it's not prime. So that's what you do. If it's prime, just write prime. I sure hope you're right and you're not guessing. I guess you got a 50-50 chance, right? Over here, though, it's not prime, and show me your evidence. Show me why it's divisible by more than 1 in itself, or show me how I can get it by multiplying besides using 1 times the number. Okay, those are your choices. So you're going to tell me prime, If it's not prime, you got to prove to me it's not. Good luck. Hope this makes sense. Hope the video turns out today. Didn't turn out so great yesterday. Hope you're doing well. I miss you all so much.